I'm the Grand Blue, and this is Yami Owen's channel.
Yes.
Change, a bit of a change. Nothing too crazy though. Don't worry. YouTube's just being a bit of a butt right now. All right, good. We're live. People can hear me.
Yeah. That they can
They're
hear
being a bit of a butt, and the fact that well, obviously this isn't on my channel, so that should be case enough for you. But today we're going to be talking about Alice Through the Looking Glass, the sequel to the Tim Burton adaptation of Alice in Wonderland. Before I get started, I would like to go ahead and say I'm sorry. I don't usually do that, but when a movie that or TV show that I said was going to suck or does suck, and then when I watch it, it turns out that the opposite of what my expectations are, I will come out and I will apologize. I've done it in the past and I'm doing it now. I am sorry for offending. First of all, I am sorry. I would like to apologize to the actress who plays Alice. I said that in the first movie she was lifeless, she was boring, and in this one, it is completely different. It is a nice turnaround, a good bit of just fresh air. She's like the whole movie is 10 times better than the first one. I'd like to. That is why I'm apologizing because I came into this movie and I was convinced. Oh, great! I gotta go watch this movie. It's gonna be terrible. It's just gonna time. I can't believe this. Anna Bonham Carter and all that. Sacha Baron Cohen, it's time. So I was not too excited about this movie, but when I went to go see it, I was surprised and delighted to watch it. It was a great movie. So let's talk about the acting and how it's different. Definitely the actress has like all of the last movie. I just felt that it was just so boring because the acting wasn't. It was just so mundane. But in this one, they've done it a lot better. She emotes more clearly, and it makes sense. Story arc wise, the first movie she was boring because she had nothing. She had nothing to believe in. She had no imagination, no creativity. But then she finds out that Wonderland. I'm gonna call it Wonderland, no matter what you call it, Mr. Burton. It is Wonderland to me. And now she has that, and she has those people. She knows those people, and she's got something. She's got hope in her soul, and it makes her more exciting, more relatable as a character. Now that she's got a personality. Now she's a strong-headed um, person who will defend what she believes in and her friends no matter what. That's relatable. That's a good character. In the last one, she was strong headed, but she didn't have a reason to be strong headed. This time, she does have a reason to be stubborn. So, yeah, and even uh, Johnny Depp's acting in the last one was a bit over the top. In this one, it's dialed down a bit to fit a nice balance. And believe me, the Hatter is very important in this movie. But let's go ahead and get into the plot of the movie. So Alice, who is a ship captain, th- that is the only that's a pretty big plot hole for me, given the time period of the movie. Even if it is fantasy, even no matter what the genre is, no, that is a bit of disbelief. I'm sorry, no. See, they had a lot of respect for her. That's a no in my book.
Yeah.
Given their time period, no, that would never happen. They would never listen to a woman. That's for sure. But other than that, it was good. It was good. So she comes back, and The guy from the last movie, the guy she almost married, yeah, his father was the one who hired Alice, and he's dead. So now the son owns the thing, and he's married, has a kid, and when when you see him, oh my god, I laughed. I chuckled at his face because he looks stupid.
He's
Just
like, he's like, Durr.
he's got a ginger handlebar mustache, Yami. It's it's quite the sight. And with his personality, like he's that stereotypical. He's the stereotype of Brit, you know? That people do to insult British people. He's like, how dare you? That's so uncivilized. But like he's brought it to another level. And it's amusing to watch. In the last one, he was uptight and stuff, but in this one, it's more funny. Like I actually get the joke because he looks uptight. He looks ridiculous. They've put him into a setting that actually makes me laugh at him. He's funny, just on look. And he has a scene later near the end of the movie that is pretty funny. That again, I'm not gonna ruin the very ending of this movie because it's so good. Um, but I will give you the plot. So, Alice then and by the way, you'll notice that throughout the first couple of scenes of this movie, the butterfly's back. The butterfly's always flying around, and then she realizes, oh, there's a fucking blue butterfly in front of me. So and then the butterfly goes through a mirror, the looking glass, and she follows him. And now, and this part I thought was pretty cool. She enters a room that was the exact same room she was in, but now it's been Wonderized? Wonderized? Yeah. Wonderized. The chessboard is alive. The rug is alive. Like, it just looks ridiculous and great, and it actually looked great to look at. Just to see the real room turned to CGI. It was a nice transition. You know, she keeps going. She gets big again because when she enters the room, she's small, as normal. So then she finds out that the Hatter is dying, which is actually hard to see near the end of this movie because of what happens. Like, so the Hatter's dying because he finds the very first hat that he ever made. And by the way, the Hatter is the Hatter. Now that we've gotten through the whole political bullcrap from the last movie, the Wonderland characters are acting like the Wonderland characters. Like Tweedledee and Tweedledum are always fighting with each other. Cheshire Cat is just being random as hell. And the Hatter, there's a scene where there's a flashback where he finds the hat and he's playing fetch with the talking dog from the first movie. And when he throws the stick, the dog says to go fetch it, and then the Hatter goes to fetch the stick. That's funny. That is the Hatter. That is the Hatter that we needed in the last movie. Not the random accent war-bound hero. No, we didn't need that. That was good. And then when he sees the hat, you feel the transition of emotions. You feel the transition as soon as he sees that hat, because when the Jabberwocky attack, apparently the Hatter's family died. But seeing the hat makes the Hatter believe that they're alive because the hat survived. So he thinks that they survived. And from his ridiculousness, you can see the sadness and semi-horror just by looking at this small paper hat that he made a long time ago. And it was just, you can feel it. That's just the thing. You can feel the emotions in this movie. And even when Alice goes to talk to him, which, by the way, the Hatter's house, it's a giant hat. It's a hat. Which, again, is It's weird. It's weird and perfect. So the Hatter's dying, and he believes that Alice. He is convinced that Alice is the only one who would believe him that his family's still alive. And when she doesn't believe that, the Hatter dies more because no one believes in him. So I thought that was kind of neat, along with the fact that, and when he said the line, "You're not my Alice would believe me." I thought we were going to have another transition where she's going to have to prove she's Alice, but no. No. Instead, we're treated to a new character. Oh, yeah. This is Time.
Isn't it the actor?
How is.
I was just gonna say, isn't that the actor who used to be Ali G?
Who?
He was a character made up in a British comedy series called Ali G. There was a movie called Ali G in the House.
Yeah. He is played by, I believe, to be Sasha Baron Cohen,
Yeah, that's the guy.
who's who's usually teamed up with Hannah Bonham Carter, who that makes sense. But in this movie, he's pretty good. I wanted to hate him. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think he was gonna be funny. I didn't think he was gonna be. Thought he was gonna be a villain. I thought he was gonna be the villain, but he's not. He's actually not. Because in the first part of the movie, Alice says Time is a crook and a thief, which makes sense. But then when you enter his clock, which that's what it is, a grandfather clock that within it is its own world. So Time is a Time Lord. Woohoo! It's bigger on the inside, and we're treated to the time, and he walks into a room filled with pocket watches, and he stops for a moment and listens to see whose clock stopped ticking, and when he closes it, the person dies, and then he puts it away. The reason I thought that was just random, just to see that Time's powers, but really, it's a plot point. It's a plot point, and that's nice. It's subtle plot, and when he runs into Alice, Alice asks, "Can I have a moment of your time?" And then he says, "You want a moment of me." I thought that was kind of cool. And, because that's a subtle joke that I get. I get it. It's funny. He's the personification of time. That's his thing. So phrases like that would, probably get on his nerves. And so that happens, and she asks for a time machine, which powers the grand clock and Time, the character. And without the chronologicum, I think what it was called, I'm gonna call it the Chronos. Without the Chronos, time will stop. Time will fall apart and break and die. So, yeah. That's a pretty good reason for Alice not to take this super dangerous thing. But she does it anyway because she wants to save the Hatter. She plans on going back in time and either finding out where the Hatter family is, or just saving them from the Jabberwocky, which is kind of cool. And then she shows up. Everyone's favorite, the Red Queen, shows up, and Time is in love with the Red Queen and wants to make her happy. But of course, the only thing she wants is the time machine to do something that I'm not going to tell you. Because it's very important to the end of the movie. Let's just say she wants to correct something. And Alice steals the Chronos, and of course goes back in time, and the people who try to stop her are these little minions of time called Seconds. That's kind of cute. Seconds. And and there's witty banter between her and Time about the Seconds. And then the Seconds When she takes the chronos, the seconds turn into minutes, which are just giant versions. They're like they combined into one mega thing. 60 seconds combined into a minute, which I thought that was kind of cool.
I'm guessing all the minutes would combine to turn into an hour.
Actually, yes. When the big grandfather clock is starting to fall apart, there's a time butler who says, "Minutes, time to bring forth the hour." So all the seconds turn to minutes, and the minutes turn into a giant hour that just holds the clock in place so it doesn't fall apart. And even the transition of their transformation is kind of cool. And as you're going through, to Alice is traveling through time, but time follows her and tries to catch up with her. And then Alice goes to a very special. She gets knocked off her path because of time. The sea of time, and she goes to the time where the princesses, the White Queen and the Red Queen, were being crowned, and the Hatters were given the honor of making the crown. The and of course the Mad Hatter had the box that had the crown in it, and you know when the Red Queen's big head, the crown wouldn't fit on it. The crown would not fit on top of him. It wouldn't fit, and when it broke, the Hatter laughed at her a little bit, and she was humiliated. And so she vowed vengeance on the Mad Hatter and the whole Hatter family. And Hatter invites Alice to tea because, they actually formed a bond earlier, which was nice. And this is important because it actually gives an explanation for the animated movie. In the animated movie, I'll get into it in a minute as soon as I get to this part. So she goes back in time, and time crashes at a tea party with the Hatter. Hatter's at a tea party, and this may be my favorite scene in the whole movie. The Hatter tells Time that he invited Alice to tea. And so Time sits down and waits for Alice to show. And this transition, there's some more Alice stuff, but I gotta get this out. This is my favorite scene in the movie. Alice, so the Mad Hatter and the rat, the mouse, the Cheshire cat, and the hare, they're making time puns. They're just making time jokes. Like, the Hatter is like, the hare is sitting next to Time, so he says, "I've got time on my side." And the Cheshire Cat is just, it's great. Like, they just do a bunch of time puns. And through this whole transition, Time's getting pissed off over all these things. He's got, like, these shoulder pads that are like wings. So, like, the Mad Hatter takes the shoulder pads and just goes, "Look, I can make time fly." It was funny. It was actually funny and weird and wacky and strange. Huh. And then Time says, he's pissed off by now, and he just says, "When is Alice showing?" And then Hatter's just like, "Well, you see, I told you I invited her. I never said when she was. I never said she was coming. I don't know. I don't know if she will show up." So Time curses them and says it will always be a minute to tea time until Alice shows up, which is a nice explanation of time for the animated movie, because in the animated movie, the Mad Hatter and all of them, they're so ecstatic that Alice shows up because they're like, "Oh, Alice, you finally showed up. We can have tea. You're just a minute before tea time. Finally." So I thought that was kind of nice. You know, there's a nice tie-in with the animated movie. And the rest of the movie, I regrettably can't tell you about. I can't. I would feel bad about telling you uh, most of the rest of the movie because it's really good and it's worth seeing. It really is a breath of fresh air compared to the last movie, and I really recommend you go see it. Like, I really do. It's not a bad movie. It's not. It's got its problems. I'll give it that. It's got one or two problems. You know, some of the dialogue is unnecessary, but you know what? It's good. It's a good movie. Um, but there is one thing I will mention. It turns out that the Hatter's father is serious, and that's a good thing because he is serious and strict while the Hatter is goofy and fun and imaginative. So it's a nice comparison between the two. You know, I thought that was a good choice, making the Hatter's father serious. You know, they could have made him just like the Hatter, but making him serious works better with the world that they've created.
Mm.
But again, the rest of the movie, I can't tell you because it's that good. You have to go see it. And I'm going to tell you now, it I teared up a little bit. I will tell you that much. There is something that happens that's really good. Like, I can't tell you the rest of it. And I really wish I could, but I can't because that spoiler is too good. It's too good. I can't do it. So that is as far as I will go with the review. But I will just say this: it is a good movie. You really should go see it. I highly recommend it. Mm. Any questions, Yami?
Yeah. How long was the movie this time around? Was it like an hour and a half mark, 2 hour mark?
Honestly, I didn't pay attention too much. I think it was 2 hours, about 2 hours. But that might have been with the trailers that I watched before.
Yeah.
So I'll give it about hour 40.
That's reasonably good for a Disney movie. Type of thing.
Mm.
'Cause these days, some certain movies go over the 2 hour mark, and you're like, "Can this movie end now, please?" Type of thing.
Honestly, I didn't want it to end. It was just really good. Like it kept going and I didn't care if it was long.
Yeah, it sounds like
But
you.
yeah, there's
Yeah, sorry.
I actually have recently seen a movie that might have gone on a little too long, which will be my next review. My next review I will be doing soon. It
Yes.
will be Warcraft.
Yes, I'll be watching that myself soon as well. So
Maybe you can join me, Yami.
yes, I'm actually gonna be watching it this weekend on my laptop. So
Yeah. Well, it has not gotten. Yeah, I'll get into it on Thursday. Anyway, but so any other questions about the Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass movie?
right. Yes, the actors in the movie, did they, besides Johnny Depp and what's her name who played the Red Queen and Alice, the other actors in the casting, were they good for the roles or yeah?
The thing is, they only changed one. They only added in actors. They didn't change anything.
Yeah, I mean the casting was
And honestly, the second time around, they did much better. Like I said before, the characters act like the characters that you would expect them to act like. You know, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they're arguing with each other.
yeah.
You know, the Cheshire Cat is more. You know, he's helpful, but at the same time, he's just like, I don't give a shit.
Oh, Stephen Fry's character.
Yeah, and you know, even the White Queen isn't like she was to me. She was annoying. I didn't like her. I really didn't. But this time around, they knew that she wasn't that big of a fan favorite,
Yeah,
so they didn't use her that much.
that's good to hear. So they still use the same actress for the White Queen then, so that's a good thing. Kind of a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't that important. She wasn't important enough, but she's still in the movie. Don't get me wrong, she's still in the movie, and even the dog is not shown that much.
Yeah.
Like the characters that they show a lot aren't. It's like even then, the only characters that they show, the characters that get most screen time are the ones you care about: Alice, the Mad Hatter, the Red Queen, and Time. They get the most screen time. Most of the movie is them.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Are the visuals nicer than the last one?
Yes, the last one was dark and gritty, and that's not what Alice in Wonderland is. This one takes that. The only dark and gritty time in the movie is when it's probably during the Sea of Time and when she sees the Jabberwocky again.
Mm.
Other than those two times, it's very visually beautiful. Like the grandfather clock is dark, but it works. It's the kind of dark that works with the movie
Yeah.
because in the clock, time is alone. Time has no one.
Mm.
No one is with time. No one owns time. And it's dark and alone and huge. Time is endless and huge. And it's dark and lonely.
Mm.
And it worked. It worked with the character that they were creating for time, and just the scenery works off of the characters, and the characters work off the scenery. When Alice goes back in time to see the Red Queen get crowned, it's light-hearted. It's colorful. It's not as dark and gritty as the first movie. It's much nicer.
So did they use the same did they use like Christopher Lee's voice for the Wabajagi again, or did they use another voice to replace his voice
Jabberwocky didn't talk. Jabberwocky didn't talk.
this time around? Oh, that's a shocker.
No talking. No talking. Well, the Jabberwocky is not important this time around. Jabberwocky is there for two scenes.
Was
He
the,
hits two
yeah.
scenes. And it's just to breathe fire.
I'm guessing the caterpillar was still around talking in that one, or
The caterpillar was there, but he was only there to get Alice there.
mm.
That was his job. After that, he was done.
Yeah,
He was done.
no talking from him either. I'm guessing.
Mm-mm.
Since the original voice actor who did his voice passed away as well, so yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Did not get a lot of screen time other than that one scene that I mentioned before.
yeah. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised about that as well. So, yeah. I thought they would give him a little bit of screen time, unless they didn't have the right. They couldn't replace
Well,
his
see,
original.
this time around, you don't need that much exposition.
True, true, true.
That's pretty much what the caterpillar's job is: exposition.
Yes.
This time, you didn't need that because it's pretty well explained by time. Time explains most of it,
Mm. So yeah,
which is good.
that's good to hear. Can't think of anything else to write about now. So, good film overall. Good film, basically to see. Is it just for yourself or friends and family?
I saw it with a family member, but he dragged me to it because if he hadn't done that, I would not have gone to go see this movie. I'm going to be honest. That's how much I thought it was going to be bad. But I went, I was surprised, and I enjoyed myself.
Mm.
Like, I actually enjoyed the movie.
You know,
So-
you're the second person who told me that they enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, it's good. It's not a bad movie. A good way to describe it is
Chaotic.
other than the first and last scene of the first movie, forget the scenes where she was in Wonderland. Forget them. They they barely come up, except the fact that the Red Queen is dethroned.
Mm.
Other than that, the stuff in reality comes back, but only as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
The first movie you don't need to don't watch the first movie. Just call Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. That's the first one. That's the first one. There you go. There was the animated movie, and then there was this one.
Yeah.
Animated movie, the 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 scenes where she's not in Wonderland from the first live action version, and then this.
Yeah.
That's the order.
Yeah, this is your Jedi powers. You don't remember the original Alice in Wonderland movie.
Yeah, that is the legitimate first one, because they actually, like I said before, they actually like reference it
Mm.
in the sequel. They reference it, you know.
Mm.
The Hatter's now always waiting for Alice, and then when young Alice shows up, hey, curse is broken. We've been waiting for you. Where you been?
So yeah.
Ugh.
So it's been a good film overall. So that's good to hear.
Yes,
Um.
overall, it is a good film. The only problem that I have with it is a small plot hole that I couldn't talk about because it's the part of the movie
Mm.
that would spoil
Yeah.
stuff.
It basically would untangle everything you just said. So it wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, so I'm not going to mention the plot hole. And even then, that's my personal thing. It's not a problem with the movie. It's a good part of the movie.
Mm.
I have a nitpick about it. That's it. And you know, after the movie gets released on DVD, I will, if it comes up again, I will gladly mention my nitpick if I ever have to address this movie again.
Mm.
But other than that, I highly recommend this movie. Go watch it. Take as many people as you can, because this movie is good and it deserves to do well.
Yes. Yes. As well, we should announce this now before we actually finish this off.
Yes, before we finish off, we have a contest for the YouTube and Chillin' fans.
Yes, in America. Slash North
Yes,
America.
the American fans. Sorry, British fans. Don't worry, we'll have a special event for you guys too.
Yes, hopefully.
May not be a contest, but you'll be able to join us in a video game that we'll be doing very soon.
Yes. Yes, the event is we got these 10 random item codes for Final Fantasy 14. If you do own a copy of Final Fantasy 14, we will ask you to do is from any of our channels when we do a gameplay stream or any of our podcasts or gaming streams we do during the times we do our shows. We want you to put down in the comments, I would like an item Kupo. It's basically, if you know what Kupo means, it's what a Moogle says after his last bit of his sentences when they talk. So, one person will get one random item, because there's 10 items in the list, and we will the person who gets when they put the thing in the comment first will get the prize. We will not. You will get person will get one random code from the list that I've got, but you will have to send me your email address details through private YouTube service thing or Gmail, and I will give it to you. And then you have to use these codes before the end of the year as well. The basic rules is you got to have the game, and you actually pay. You have like a subscription. You pay for the subscription thing. But we will let you know what the random items are when you get them.
And we will also just, in case you watch this video later, we'll let you guys know in another video when we run out of items, we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep the comments coming. In fact, in a few minutes, you can head over to my channel. I will be doing a gameplay of a game. Not sure which one, but I will be doing a live stream of a game. Um, so that will be a good chance. That's a chance for you to leave a comment. Leave that very special comment. I want a what?
Item Kupo.
I want an item coupon. We will write down your username, and we'll try our best to get the code to you. So
Yes. You basically need to do is leave that message in, and we'll send you a comment back on your channel or whatever you have on YouTube, and we'll give you the code there as a
mhm.
private message, so no one
Yes.
can't get it off you. So remember, there's 10 random items, and we will only give one item once every month, because not once every month, but once every 2 weeks. So there's gonna be one item now, and the next 2 weeks we'll give another code out.
Now, sh- I don't I don't know if we should we make it a rule that one person one code.
Yep.
All right, one person one code. If you've already gotten a code from the contest, then don't leave another comment because come on, guys. We're trying to get all of our fans a little something because we love you guys.
Mm.
We really do. We appreciate you subscribing. We appreciate you watching our videos, leaving likes, and subscribing just in general. So we've enjoyed that, and we got something that we want to give to you. You
Yes.
just gotta leave that comment in one of our live streams, in a podcast, or something.
Yes.
Which, by the way, you guys really need to tune in this Saturday, 7:30, to YouTube and Chillin' Live. We have some very special guests joining us.
Ooh.
I will not say who because kind of want to leave it a surprise, but they are very special guests. If if you watch Retros, you know one of them. If
Mm-hmm.
you watch Retro's channel, you know one of them.
And I know one of them because I actually joined with this certain person as well on Splatoon.
That is true. Ooh, a good Splatoon fan indeed. That is indeed a good characteristic of the person, one of the people that we've gotten for the YouTube and Chillin' Live. So be sure to tune in. We will be talking about the E3 in general because we didn't have everyone for each event, so we're gonna have YouTube and Chillin' Live be that.
Yes. Yes. And then the other part I was going to say as well, if we don't finish all the discussions we talk about E3 at that podcast, as well, we'll be doing our E3 chat dueling event as well. So we'll be
Yes.
doing our online duels while discussing about E3 stuff at the same time. So we're killing two birds with one stone on the second half about the
Yes.
E3 stuff.
And a new. We are currently working on a Smite event. I'm currently working on a Smite event. I have created, with the new update, you can create a clan. So send an application to the YouTube and Chill. That's YouTube and AND Chill. Um, and send in an applicant, and we'll add you in. We'll add you
Yes.
into the group, into the clan, and when you do that, you have a chance every once in a while when we play Smite to join us in a game. You, you can play a match with us.
Yes. As well, when it comes to July 15th, I know that I can't stream the 3DS at the moment, but if you're on Facebook, I'll be making an online Facebook group called the Talking and Chilling Hunting Squad. That means when Monster Hunter Generations come out and you own a 3DS, I am gonna invite players to join with me, maybe two at a time, because I might have a fellow friend who's a pro Monster Hunter, who we will help you or join in, have some fun, hunting monsters together. And it'll be very interesting for you guys to hang out and enjoy the hunting experience if you own Monster Hunter Generations on the 3DS. But I will let you guys know when I set up the YouTube page up on the latest date, when the game comes out, or maybe a few days after, since I am doing some SWPR training type of thing. So until then, we'll see you there. Anything else you need to say anymore, Grand Blue?
Just not no. I don't have much. Just subscribe to Yami Owen. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to anyone who's in YouTube and chilling. Tune in on Saturday and go watch this movie. It's a great movie.
So yes, this is Yami Owen.
I'm the Grand Blue.
We will see you next time on the Talking and Chilling podcast. Laters!
Bye bye.